All right, I want to do a reading now on the upcoming solar eclipse, April 8th. Now, apparently, the state of Texas has declared a state of emergency in advance for the solar eclipse. They're deploying National Guard troops, they're canceling school, and all manner of stuff, which to me seems a little bit concerning for a solar eclipse, right? So I guess the first question that I want to look at is what are they preparing for? Like what have they conceived of in their heads that would warrant this? And then we'll take a look and see what is actually likely to transpire. But at first, we're just going to look at all of these measures that are taken. I think a couple other states have done the same thing as well, but I'm sure about Texas. So, what the fuck is their problem, I guess? Okay, Page of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. So, right away, the Page of Swords as the root. So, because this is a court card, I'm going to read this as people. And here, the Page of Swords, they kind of zone in on one very specific thing, which shows in the little robotic eye. The Page of Swords can see deeper into reality when they zone in on a very specific thing. Now, the main card is the Wheel of Fortune. So, this is the galactic clock. This is destiny. This is like things that are beyond our control. So the and fate as well in this Wheel of Fortune. So I guess I mean the most innocent way to look at this would be people who are looking at the eclipse, right? Like watching the big wheel go around. Now, let's just see. We'll look around the Wheel of Fortune to see if there's anything more insidious than that. But let's see what we get. All right. Well, the King of Swords here is a little concerning. But on either side of this Wheel of Fortune, so we have this Five of Cups, but the thing that I'm actually seeing is the hand in front of the moon. Now, maybe that literally means the eclipse, even though it's not the moon that's being eclipsed, it's the sun. But the Five of Cups would also talk about some sort of communication breakdown. Um, and then on the other side, we have the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is the military commander. Now that is a little concerning, but when I look at this, I think what they're worried about is something disrupting communications and that they would need this King of Swords energy to keep control, right? Now, I'm going to pull another one on this King of Swords just to see if they're planning on going full fucking martial law here or what. And we get a Seven of Wands, so this is coming out of some sort of restriction. We also have someone that's kind of running from something. Um, Boy, I'm just going to pull one more to see what this person is running from. And we get another Seven. So this Seven of Pentacles shows up a lot, but it's the witch practicing witchcraft. Now, there is blood in this card, but I'm not really reading it that way. When I look at these are not clear enough to me to say that there's going to be any sort of military crackdown or anything like that. So when I look at this, I think I'm going to read this the most mundane way and just say that the Page of Swords is just people who are looking at the eclipse. And I'm taking the Wheel of Fortune to be the galactic clock and the eclipse. And they would be afraid of some sort of communication breakdown and that they would need this sort of military energy to keep control of it. Okay, well, at least in the mundane way of reading this, that doesn't look too bad. And I think that fits with their explanations of why they would be doing this. Now, what I'm going to do is collect these and see what is actually going to transpire on the day of the eclipse. So, are there going to be any shenanigans? Is there going to be widespread panic? And I'm not referring to the band. All right. I guess we'll say they're ready. All right. 10 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles. So, the 10 of Wands is a bunch of shit work that someone would have to do to get something done. And the 5 of Pentacles is like exile. It's interesting because this shows a bunch of work being done, but there's like no gain. This person is like financially destitute. I think that's the word. Let's just see what's around this. Okay, so on one side we have the Queen of Pentacles, which I guess is like motherly, sort of taking care of people energy. It doesn't look like that works very well because of what is shown in this 5 of Pentacles. And on the other side, we have the Ace of Wands, which is kind of this new energy being born. Again, I don't see anything really disruptive or insidious here, but this looks like a lot of work being done to try to take care of people that probably doesn't work that well. But we do have this sort of inspiration that shows up in the Ace of Wands. Let's move these over just a touch. And I'm going to pull one more on this Ace of Wands to see what we're looking at. And we get a reverse page. Now, this is just a person or like a group of people. The reversed page of Cups tends to not really be that optimistic. And it shows people like trying to hold on to something that they can't necessarily hold on to forever. Now, that could be as simple as people wanting to be in that moment longer than that moment lasts, because it doesn't happen all that often. You know, the last one in the continental United States was 7 years ago. And I don't remember how long it's going to be for the next one, but it doesn't happen very often. So again, I don't see anything like super disruptive or evil here. Now, I want to look a little bit at the straight up shadow energy of this, because it is powerful shadow energy if you're into the whole shadow realm or whatever type of thing. This is a straight up shadow that's created by the moon. So let's just see what sort of effect that will have. And we get a reversed 9 of Pentacles. And that is like not having the ability to do the things that you're trying to do. It's like not having the money to buy the shit that you want to get. Okay, and we'll just pull one more on this. And the 10 of Swords is a certain amount of suffering. It's like trapped suffering. It's interesting, between these two, what I see is suffering and frustration. I'm going to pull one more on this just to see what the hell we're looking at here. And we get a reversed King of Cups. The King of Cups would show like an emotional drain. And it would be an inability to keep yourself from being emotionally drained by things that are not good for you, right? Um, so it looks like the sort of shadow energy that comes with this is all pretty negative, which for me is maybe a little concerning because I do plan on being inside of the totality of this thing. But let's just pull one more to see if this leaves like a big stamp. Like let's say you are in the totality, you are in the shadow. Um, does this leave like some sort of longer lasting stamp? And once again, we are at this Wheel of Fortune. So, the Wheel of Fortune, as a true answer to that question, would be like it's completely unknowable or out of your control. It would probably be different for every person, right? And it would depend on where your energy is in the galactic clock or whatever. So, I mean, if you are worried about that, then I would not take a trip to the totality of the eclipse. I personally am going to still because I saw the one in 2017 and it was fucking cool. So I'm going to do that again. I'm not going to Texas though because it seems like they plan on things being crazy. But that is what we have here. And the good news is no massive like disruptions. It doesn't look like there's going to be a big attack or anything like that, at least in the way that I'm reading these here. So I would love to hear what you think about this, or if you plan on going to the totality zone of the eclipse. And that's what we have for now. Peace.
Is this the end of days? Will lava fill the base? I'm gonna grab some tarot cards, let's see what they say. Who controls the press? Was Will Smith possessed? Let's shuffle up the cards and we'll see. And what about the freaking aliens? Whatever could they be? Let's ask the cards and see. Come on to my Patreon. It's only $5.